Hi everyone, this video is not intentionally meant to put everyone off a rabbit. Rabbits are my favourite animal. They are so cute and every single one of them has different characters and they are so fluffy. Well, some breeds are fluffy. But this is really to inform people because I know this is the sort of thing people would want to know and what they should know before you or someone you're telling should buy a rabbit. First off, many people think that rabbits are just an animal that you can pick up and snuggle with your nose and hold and stroke and like just hold them around all day. You do get the very few that are, and the majority of rabbits do not like being picked up and would prefer not to be. The ones you see tolerating it are the ones that are picked up from young and stroked from birth. Something that they do love, absolutely love, just stroke their head. Another thing I just quickly want to say, please do not, if you get a rabbit and you see them videos with the rabbits on their back and you're like, oh my god, they're so cute, they're standing still, please do not do that. Still, when they're on the back, feel like they're a danger and it can be really bad for your rabbit. Rabbits are a commitment. They're just like dogs, they're just like parrots, they're just like, you know, any other animal. They are not just for Easter or any other holidays. You know, they live for a long time. They need to be cleaned out at least once a week, and it's always more in the summer because you've got to be careful when the flies come in to season. Is that what you call them? You've got to be careful when the flies come in because they can lay eggs, and if the eggs get inside them, then it can cause like maggots and your rabbit will be really ill and it can be very fatal. Very important for the flies not to come, so the hutch needs to be clean all the time, especially if it's an outside rabbit. You go through a lot of hay and a lot of sawdust and straw, so it can be very expensive, especially if you don't live, you know, near farmland where you get the farm shops where you can get it for cheap. And even then you have to be careful depending on how long it's been sitting there. If there's mite, I'd always recommend to go to a pet shop for straw and hay because it's usually been treated, but that one is a bit more expensive. Even though I'd say rabbits are quite independent animals, they do still require a lot of attention and love. What tends to happen is when people get a rabbit, by the way, I'm not saying this as if you will, I'm just saying for the people who this might happen to, get a rabbit and they are in love with it for the first month or so, but then it starts to get a nuisance and they don't want to do it anymore, so they sort of give up stroking it and talking to it. You know, even though they can't understand it, I still feel like the noise and just someone else, like a human being there, it makes them relaxed, I feel like. Also, if you stroke them, and even though I said most don't like being picked up, if you do pick them up and they're okay, they're still, you stroke them while they're in your arms, if you do that every day, it will keep your rabbit tame. If not, your rabbit will get used to not being touched or not being held and it will hate it a lot more. Also, something I would like to say is I wouldn't really recommend a rabbit as a child's pet, only because well, I've got kind of mixed opinions of this. Most people get rabbits for children. As long as you're as in love with the rabbit and you cannot just leave it for children to take care of, even though they say to you hundreds and hundreds of times, you know, I will take care of it. Even younger teens, even though they'll say, you know what, I'll take care of it, it's my responsibility, they will get bored and it will start become again a nuisance. So you've got to be as involved with it as the child is. I think I might rephrase that. I don't recommend it for young children's pet. You've probably realised by now they're not just fluffy little things that just sit and lay down all day. Kids tend to poke, touch, scream, chase, pull their hair. If they get annoyed with you, they will nip you, they will bite you, and rabbits are not known to have small teeth. They need to have a run. Something that can either be attached to it, but they're usually hard to clean out, the ones that are attached to it, or a separate one which you need to bring out every day because they're animals. You wouldn't keep a cat or a dog in a little hutch. They used to be roaming around, they need the grass. My mum's friend looked after her friend's rabbit. She put that one out in a run, just for a little run around, and it didn't know how to hop past one step where it's been in the hutch all its life, and it honestly breaks my heart and it makes me so sad even to think there's people out there who don't put their rabbit in the run, they just leave it in the hutch, and it honestly breaks my heart. So even though runs can be expensive and hutches with runs can be expensive, it is 100 million% needed. And plus you'll probably only need to buy one. I do need to say this, even though I'm a breeder, not all breeders are the same. If you get your rabbit from a breeder, it doesn't guarantee them to be healthier. It doesn't guarantee them to be held every day and calm and nicer. It doesn't guarantee anything like that because the breeder could not be holding them every day, could not be stroking them every day. I do need to say, when I've got my first couple of rabbits. I got them from their whole line of mini lot. I wouldn't say the whole line, but had carried a gene, and where it seemed like they interbred, so the gene passed down to the babies and getting passed down and passed down, and they were selling them for quite expensive, like £45 per rabbit, and for a rabbit that is ill and can have health problems, so you got to be really careful when you choose your breeder. Saying that though, I would recommend, you know, searching for a breeder rather than in a pet shop, because if you want a tame animal, go to a breeder, because people in pet shop, they don't hold them. Obviously they're cared for because they'd be taken by the RSPCA. Basically just be careful which breeders you go to. Read reviews if they have any, especially if you're spending a lot of money. A couple more things that you probably need to know. If you're worried about your rabbit being lonely and you get 2 bucks, do not, whatever you do not put them together. Even if they're from the same litter, they will fight and kill each other. They become very, very dominant. And however, if you get females from the same litter, they are able to live together. You will see them like a couple of times get a bit nasty to each other, but that's only showing their dominance. Or if they get nasty around, you know, there's not really much to worry about unless they start really fighting with the females. Mostly you cannot put 2 females from different litters. If they have not been brought up together, you cannot just randomly put one in with the other when they've grown up, because they will fight. As long as you love, look after, get the run. And something I also would want to say, if you're not planning to breed your rabbits and it's like a male rabbit, I'd say get them neutered, like get their because they're just a lot calmer, they're a lot nicer, they're a lot more lazier, you know, they're just a lot nicer rabbits. And I don't know, I always recommend it, even though it can be expensive, like it can be like almost £100. I think it's like 70, 80. I think I paid for one of mine to be done and he was £80, which is a lot when you think about it. But it's 100% worth it. There is obviously so many positives to a rabbit. I think it's like over 25 I have, and they're not what I used to breed either. So many people wouldn't have rabbits, they were horrible animals. I really wanted to make this video just in case even one person see it, 2 people see it. It breaks my heart to see people have a rabbit for a year and then give it away, and then they're forever just sort of being tossed and passed to another family. They last for 10-15 years. Just be prepared. They are amazing pets. I love them. Obviously I'm not a professional, but I just have a lot of rabbits. I've had them long enough to know what is what, and I don't know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, and yeah, goodbye.